Says, I don't think guys are going to like it. I think it's going to be an uproar. It has to, if that is to happen, because you're basically taking away a constitutional right of freedom of speech. No, you're not. If guys want to have I guess you would call it a peaceful protest, I don't think that it's right to take that away from guys. No, it is, because it's not. I'll say it again. Players don't have First Amendment rights when they're on the field, when they're playing, or off the field, when they're in the arena. They are subject to the whims of the NFL. There are a million ways that the NFL restricts their speech, including excessive celebration in the end zone. It's hurting the NFL, and the NFL is going to have to explain and come to some sort of an accord, some sort of agreement, and players are going to have to realize this is going to hurt them contract time. Something's going to have to be done. But what happens if they say you got to stand and 100 players don't stand? Do you fire them all? Do you bench them all? Do you have them remain in the tunnel during the anthem, then come out? There's a guy, free agent Antonio Cromartie. Yeah, I'm not a sports guy. Said he thought players would continue to sit or take a knee in what he described as a statement against police brutality and social injustice. There's no finish line. There's no happy, there's no time that this protest, is built on a lie that the police are wholesale slaughtering black men. It's not true. It's meant to distract from the real issues in the African-American community in the inner cities. It also is meant to create a crisis for a generation that has never had to struggle like those before. The civil rights movement was in the 60s. People who had dogs unleashed on them were hit with water cannons, were banned from entering schools, were subject to Jim Crow laws. We've got a generation that needs victimhood. Says, I think that as players, we have the First Amendment right to protest peacefully. No, you don't. I'll just say it again. No, you don't. He said he didn't think fans would abandon the NFL over take a knee protests. People are going to watch football. People love football. Well, sir, some will. Your audience is going to be a lot lower. Your endorsements are going to go. NAACP is going after Jerry Jones, saying that they have to stand, saying that it's violating NFL's free speech, NFL players' free speech rights to bench players who continue to kneel. No, it's not. From the NAACP, Jerry Jones' comments are more than tone deaf, more than misinformed and misguided. They are a public commitment by the NFL owner to violate his players' constitutional rights to free speech. Again, geez, what the hell? This is just a big damn mess, isn't it? 100 of the union labor unions filed a complaint against Jones, alleging that he violated National Labor Relations Act by threatening to bench players who protest. Go to the Ford Motor Company and don't wear your uniform. The filing to the National Labor Relations Board said the employer, evidenced by his repeated public statements, is attempting to threaten, coerce, and intimidate Dallas Cowboys players on the roster in order to prevent them from exercising concerted activity protected under the act by saying that he will fire any players involved in such concerted activity. Okay, whatever. He has every right to say that he owns the team. Sorry. Football player, Division III Albright College in Reading, Pennsylvania. Jairi Durant decided to take a knee during the national anthem, and he was excused. He's not playing anymore. In a statement, the school says he was dismissed for his decision to not support team unity. It's school policy. You do it. Cheerleaders at Kennesaw State University, where 5 of their cheerleaders took a knee during the national anthem at their game against North Greenville University on September the 30th. They decided to take a knee for oppression and social injustice, and they're cheerleaders. Older brother, one of the cheerleaders, calls what they did courageous. Yeah, real courageous. Her and another group of girls really felt moved to join the movement of talking about racial inequality and criminal justice reform, and decided they wanted to take a knee. I guess they're going to be told they can be inside of the school or tunnel or whatever from now on if they don't want to be a part of that. Let's talk about Al Green. No, not the Reverend. Al Green, the liberal Democrat, House member. A couple weeks ago, before Vegas, he was all ready to impeach Donald Trump. I guess he feels like the nation has had enough time to mourn, so he's ready to resume his idiotic tirade against Donald Trump. And for this, I'm going to require a little Al Green music. Yeah, a little music there. Yeah, play that in the background. I better play it off this computer, actually. Let me find it over here. Hold on. Al Green. Gotta find it. Al Green. Hold on. I've got it. Again, I guess he felt that we had time to mourn. That time is over, and he would just resume, even though the president, I think, has done a hell of a job. Here's the Al Green. Right over here. There we are. Al Green. But we've had enough. He got back on the floor like he did a couple weeks ago and had the following things to say about resuming impeachment against Donald Trump.
The form of the resolution is as follows.
Yes.
Articles of impeachment against Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America.
Yes, sir.
And the Congress of the United States of America. Resolution.
Yes.
Resolved that Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America.
Yeah, you said that.
Has undermined the integrity of his office.
Yep.
With impunity.
Okay.
And has brought disrepute on the presidency with immunity.
Okay. That didn't make a whole lot of sense. Here's a little bit more from Al Green on the floor.
Has betrayed his trust as president to the manifest injury of the American people.
Hasn't it hurt me?
And is unfit to be president.
Yeah.
And is impeached pursuant to Article 2, Section 4 of the Constitution of the United States of America. And that the following articles of impeachment be exhibited to the United States Senate. Articles of impeachment exhibited by the House of Representatives of the United States of America in the name of itself and of all of the people of the United States of America.
Except for the Trump supporters, actually. I think you're kind of throwing us in there because I don't support your idiocy.
Against Donald John Trump, President of the United States of America.
Thanks for sharing that again,
in maintenance and support of its impeachment against him for high crimes and misdemeanors.
What?
Of a nature which may with peculiar propriety be denominated as political, not requiring the commission of a crime.
Okay, no crime necessary.
Exclusively.
Yes.
The jurisdiction of the United States House of Representatives
of America
for impeachment purposes.
Okay. 4 articles. 1 accused the president of inciting white supremacy, sexism, bigotry, hatred, xenophobia, race baiting, and racism by demeaning, defaming, disrespecting, and disparaging women and certain minorities. Okay. Well, he did none of that during the presidency. He talked about grabbing the P word during the campaign, or now 10 years ago. Another article says he brought shame and dishonored the office of the presidency by associating the majesty and dignity of the presidency with causes rooted in white supremacy, bigotry, racism, anti-Semitism, white nationalism, and neo-Nazism. This is gobbledygook. Another article condemned Trump for saying 3 to 5 million people voted illegal in the 2016 presidential election. And the 4th accused the president of encouraging law enforcement officials to violate the constitutional rights of the suspects in their case. That was the drug dealers, the drug bust. He made a comment. It wouldn't be bad if they bumped your head, putting you in the back of the car, even though you caught him red-handed. Sarah Sanders calls his effort pathetic. I concur. I think we're done with our Al Green music. Oh, I thought that was very pleasant. Didn't you find that pleasant? A couple of lighter things to wrap up the show today. Shopping for Halloween costumes could give you lice. A lot of kids try on costumes when you go into wherever. Masks and wigs could have lice. Once you buy the costume, you should leave it in a plastic bag for 48 hours. The lice will die in a day or two. Take a shower cap or swim cap to the store with you and make sure your kids wear it when they put on stuff. That's a little embarrassing. Throw your costume in the dryer on high heat for 45 minutes before you wear it. That's what they say you should do. 72% of parents will dip into their kids' candy stash. Well, duh, you got to pay the tax, man. And here's the thing. I think we should have 3 levels of candy earnings, maybe with a 4th additional level of candy earnings for the really high candy earners, the people who, come with a giant bag. So if you got like one of those little pumpkins, you take 12% of it. And then a bigger container, mid-sized container, you take 25% of it. Then a bigger container, 36% of the kids' candy. And if they get a pillowcase, so if they're like these 1%ers, then you take a little bit more. See how your kids react to that. See how your kids like that. Oh, and then take state and local candy tax out of that. And property candy tax out of that. Teach your kids a lesson this year. Teach your kids a lesson this year. I just am not a big candy guy. I like the sour stuff. I like sour gummy bears. I don't really do candy bars. I do adults. All the candy bar commercials have adults in them. Isn't that funny? Candy bar commercials always feature adults. It could be Snickers. It could be whatever. It's always adults. I kind of stopped eating candy. Occasionally a little piece of chocolates every once in a while. Finally, 64% of American households now own at least one Apple product, according to a new survey. Average household has 2.6 of them. 64% of households in America now own at least one Apple product, including iPhones, iPads, MacBooks, Apple Watches. Even still clinging to an old iPod. I am. I've got every generation iPod, including the first. It still works. I had the 3rd generation iPod and it died on me. But what would I rather do? Take something that's the size of a stick of gum with 45 songs on it, or strap this to my arm, the iPhone? Doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, thank you for joining me today, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Make sure to, if you can, sign up for LibertyOneTV.com, LibertyOneTV.com, $10 a month, $99 a year, worth every penny of it. My video podcast as well as others, and they're terrific. We would greatly appreciate your support. And you can see my show every weekday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, obviously. And then my show on the Podcast Radio Network, podcastradionetwork.com. That's at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You get what I'm saying, all right? You can download my podcast if you want to keep it for posterity, or you want to listen to it on your iPad or iPod. Just go to iTunes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Google Plus, Google Play, YouTube. All of it's there, and it's all free, all right? In the meantime, have a glorious rest of your day. God bless, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks for listening to The Rob Carson Show. Friend him on Facebook at Carson Show, on Twitter at Rob Carson, and on Instagram, I think Facebook and Twitter are enough for now. We'll see you soon.